Case study: Heilbut, Symons Corporation vs. Buckleton. Introduction. Heilbut, Symons Corporation vs. Buckleton, a landmark case from 1913, holds significant importance in the realm of contract law. This case revolves around a dispute between Heilbut, Symons Corporation, the plaintiff, and Buckleton, the defendant. It raises fundamental questions regarding the interpretation of contractual terms and the obligations they impose on parties involved in commercial transactions. Against the backdrop of the legal landscape of 1913, this case serves as an illuminating example of how courts grapple with complex contractual issues. Background. The backdrop of Heilbut, Symons Corporation vs. Buckleton is rooted in the bustling commercial activities of early 20th century England. Heilbut, Symons Corporation, a reputable trading firm, entered into a contract with Buckleton, a supplier of goods, for the purchase of certain merchandise. However, disputes arose between the parties regarding the quality and conformity of the goods delivered, leading to a breakdown in their commercial relationship. This dispute culminated in legal action, with Heilbut, Symons Corporation seeking redress for alleged breaches of contract by Buckleton. Parties involved: Heilbut, Symons Corporation, the plaintiff in this case, was a well-established trading firm with a vested interest in upholding the terms of their contractual agreements. On the other hand, Buckleton, the defendant, was a supplier of goods whose actions came under scrutiny for purported breaches of contractual obligations. Both parties had distinct roles and interests, which shaped the trajectory of the legal dispute. Legal issue. The crux of the legal issue in Heilbut, Symons Corporation vs. Buckleton pertained to the interpretation of the contractual terms governing the sale of goods. Specifically, the court was tasked with determining whether Buckleton had fulfilled its contractual obligations and whether Heilbut, Symons Corporation was entitled to remedies for any breaches of contract. This case raised broader questions about the application of contract law principles in commercial transactions. Procedural history. Before reaching the courts, attempts were made by both parties to resolve their disputes through negotiation and mediation. However, failing to reach a mutually acceptable resolution, Heilbut, Symons Corporation initiated legal proceedings against Buckleton. The case progressed through various procedural stages, including pleadings, discovery, and PI trial motions, before ultimately being heard by the court. Arguments. Heilbut, Symons Corporation argued that Buckleton had failed to deliver goods of the specified quality and had breached the terms of the contract. They contended that Buckleton's actions had caused them financial harm and sought remedies for the losses incurred. On the other hand, Buckleton maintained that they had complied with the terms of the contract and disputed the allegations of breach leveled against them. Both parties presented detailed arguments, supported by evidence and legal precedents to bolster their respective positions before the court. Court's analysis. The court engaged in a meticulous analysis of the contractual terms and the conduct of both parties throughout the transaction. Central to the court's deliberation was the interpretation of the contract and the determination of whether Buckleton had fulfilled its obligations under the agreement. The court scrutinized the evidence presented, including testimonies from witnesses and documentary Records of the transaction. Decision. After careful consideration, the court rendered its decision in favor of Heilbut, Symons Corporation, finding Buckleton liable for breaches of contract. The court determined that Buckleton had failed to deliver goods of the agreed-upon quality and had thus violated the terms of the contract. Consequently, Buckleton was ordered to compensate Heilbut, Symons Corporation for the losses suffered as a result of the breaches. Impact. Heilbut, Symons Corporation vs. Buckleton 1913 had significant ramifications for contract law, setting precedent regarding the interpretation of contractual terms and the obligations of parties in commercial transactions. The case underscored the importance of adhering to contractual obligations and the need for transparency and fairness in business dealings. It served as a guiding precedent for subsequent cases involving disputes over the sale of goods and contractual performance. Conclusion. In conclusion, Heilbut, Symons Corporation vs. Buckleton 1913 stands as a testament to the enduring relevance of contract law principles in regulating commercial transactions. Through its thorough analysis and reasoned decision, the court reaffirmed the importance of upholding contractual obligations and ensuring accountability for breaches of contract. If you are a law student and looking for more case studies, visit our website www.mylawtutor.net.